All right, welcome to the Legendary Upside YouTube channel. My name is Pat Crane. You can follow my content at legendaryupside.com. Key part of that content is the LegUp Sidekick, our dynamic rankings tool that Sackreligious and Shaidy Advice help me out with powering, creating, and all of that good stuff. Guys, how's it going? We're going to talk through some playoff best ball stuff, and some of the big winners from the LegUp community are going to be joining us here in a few minutes.
Doing well. Personally, my brain is like always one drafting season ahead because that's what we're working on in the tool. So like in my brain, we're already in season long. Like playoff best ball has already happened and looking at the future. So it'll be fun to look at some of the hits people had and how the community felt it went well for me. Made some money. Didn't win anything huge, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it was a good season for me. Had some sweats in the finals. Got a lot of teams to the finals. I think I was like 20-something finals teams, which was well above expectation. So that was nice.
And you were very live in the sprint. You had,
right?
If
Drake May didn't sit in the second half, I'd probably take first and second in the sprint, as crazy as that sounds. But yeah, him sitting got me passed by a bunch of Bijan teams that were like way far back, but obviously surged with his performance. And then the Puka dud did not help, so that probably cost me around 50 grand. The Puka / Bijan interaction. Drake May playing the second half would have been really cool, but I think to have a very profitable season with 0 binks is a pretty strong testament to how good a season we had.
Yeah, we've had people from the community take stuff down, and also just like you're saying, finish well, even if not in first place. So we have a handful of LegUp subs going to be jumping on the channel here with us, and basically we'll just kind of talk through, their teams a little bit of kind of their takeaways from the season and from their team, and draft some playoff best ball as we do it. But let's do that with you guys first. So any kind of thoughts you guys want to get out there as a gauntlet draft fills here?
My brain is sort of stuck in the technical aspects of things. We want to make a little bit of tweaks to in our processes and things like that. I do think that there's gotta just be some interesting impacts of the way that the season played out, as always. Quarterback optics and the number of them that you might want on a team is going to change. We'll change those ADPs. It'll be interesting to see how the sims solve. And then I'm interested how we're going to feel about players like CMC and the other traditionally maybe almost dead zone-ish targets as we get more and more worried about their age and things like that. But
yeah, one thing for me is bench risk at quarterback. I think seems like it's going up compared to where we were, 4 or 5 years ago. Like a Kyler Murray, getting benched, Tua getting benched, which not that those guys, I'm saying they shouldn't have been, but it does seem like it's a little easier for quarterbacks who aren't completely tanky. Like if you look at Kyler Murray's season-long efficiency, it's like pretty similar to Bo Nix's. It's really not that bad. And it was quite a bit better than Jacoby Brissett's. But there's, Tua was bad, but it was about where Bryce Young is. And so I think there's the idea of kind of like the franchise quarterback, and it's kind of an overly committing to a quarterback when it's like not working. Teams seem to be less willing to do that, which is probably good for them, but something that we're going to be needing to keep in mind as we think about, okay, I have 2 quarterbacks, but is one of them kind of a mediocre season away from getting benched? Not a bad season, not like oh my God, this guy's unstartable, but just like what Baker Mayfield did this year. Probably gets him benched next year if he repeats what he did this year again, and he was somewhat usable. So that's one thing I think we think through modeling all this stuff is a pretty interesting little little potential change from years past. I'm gonna go ahead and take Barkley here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just really excited for this next year. Just having a year under our belt with the sim process, I feel pretty strongly that we're just going to be able to improve the quality of our inputs year over year. Already been talking to the rankings team about some of the things that we're going to be doing in the new season, just to get those inputs even better. So I'm just really excited. It's like a fun puzzle to improve at every year. So yeah, I'm kind of with Shaidy. I'm already starting to think through like, all right, we got the big board coming. I need to get all our way too early stuff ready, dialed in. And we did have quite a bit of success in the way too early contest this last year. So looking to run that back.
Absolutely. I'm going to go. I don't think I'm going to get Stafford back. I'm going to do AJ Brown. I like these big Eagles builds, and I think kind of be fun to show off one of those. So AJ Brown. I will also show off for people that have been using Sidekick for a while. You may have gotten frustrated over time with it getting in the way of drafting when it's here, which is kind of a nice spot for it to be because then it's right by the draft board. But if you go up and you click the Sidekick, there's a little arrow button you won't be able to see on my screen because I'm not sharing my entire screen, just the tab. But if you click the Sidekick up on your extension, there's a couple settings of when you hide the overlay on Underdog that you can change. You can hide it when the confirm cancel to enter a tournament on Underdog is showing. You can hide it when the player card. So when you click a player card, meaning once I have a player queued, and then I click this, the Sidekick hides. You can also do it when the draft board's showing if you want to do that. So a couple new features that we added recently that I think are pretty helpful. Just that feeling of like not having to move the Sidekick all around just to do your thing.
Yeah, when I'm on my laptop drafting and I have the smaller monitor, it's a game changer. On the desktop, I don't really, I've got so much real estate, it doesn't bug me as much. But on the laptop, it's a major game changer.
So of course, Artillery Frost snipes us, who's going to be with us later. So thanks a lot, man. And
now, are we in a gauntlet or
would
a
have come back? This is a gauntlet.
Yeah, so I bet it's trying to get CMC on a buy through. And so just using Hertz and Nico as strong round one pieces. And then if you get CMC buy and manage to get that through alive, that's really strong. I've been doing more of that Saquon Kyron start that got recommended here. I was getting a lot of this Saquon AJ Brown earlier, but yeah, Henderson's solid here. We're not going to be able to play it into the Patriots, but it is just a strong piece that should go far in the playoffs.
Right. And then where do you think we'll end up building through as a Super Bowl? Jags or?
I would say probably not Jags. You're probably going to get into Broncos.
Interesting.
Yeah. Jags could be like pieces that help get your Broncos through, but we're missing ETN. And so that's a little harder. We
have Barkley.
To be missing ETN plus Hertz in a Jags Super Bowl where it's Jags Eagles is a little painful.
If you have Barkley, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, you can get all of that though, and the Sims know that people like. I was just looking at some teams from earlier today, and I have literally all of the Eagles and all of the Jags, and so
that is nice. Yeah,
it's like I welcome you to show up to my final playing for 17th place because I will have first locked.
All right, well let's decide whose brain the Sims are in. Are they in my brain or your brain? Trevor Lawrence is top guy.
Well, I think we'll use Lawrence or a quarterback to get
get to Broncos. I think you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have Broncos later. We don't need very many Broncos is the thing as well.
Because it's Broncos Eagles that we're probably doing. Yeah. So let's see what else is going on here. So we got. This is fun. I do like the Seahawks Patriots stuff.
Yeah, that fits very nice.
Yeah. So we lose Harvey to Rob here.
Yeah.
We lose Myers. Lawrence is still. Bears are popping. Maybe this is a Bears team. Although that doesn't really help us because we got. I mean, then the Eagles become advanced rate stuff.
Yeah, then you're Bears Patriots with Henderson.
Right.
Because you can do kind of the Bears onslaught like we've in the previous weeks we've been doing Packers onslaught. So
yeah. All right. So DeAndre Swift is top guy here, and I think yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I think we just do DeAndre Swift. Yeah, Neil in the chat is asking, was this contest 2 of 6 last year? Yes, the gauntlet was 2 out of 6. So the 1 of 6 significantly changes your strategy. Well, I feel less confident we're going to go into Broncos now that both Harvey and Sutton are gone.
I don't think we'll have a single Bronco.
Yeah, it's just full Bears with a bunch of weird bits at the end tacked on. Usually is what these end up being.
Full Bears, or the other thing that I have seen recently and we could force would be Ravens. You just go full Ravens from this point on. But then Ravens have to make the Super Bowl, which is kind of scary.
I think you just start with Caleb, and then maybe you also get a 2 QB with Ravens on there.
With Ravens, yeah.
Yeah, I have been getting some Ravens lately. I got kind of a fun one where it was just Henry, Lamar, Flowers with an Eagles start, and I think 3 Patriots. It was just like I had room. I didn't like need a bunch of other pieces, and so it was just why not finish with some Ravens?
Yeah, I get Ravens through Ravens. Have sometimes popped for me when I do get the full Eagles. So when I go, like literally, Barkley, Brown, Hurts, Smith, Goddard.
Yeah,
and then it'll just be like, all right, like you have Eagles covered with anyone, so let's just get like the highest scoring AFC guys, the AFC team left, and I'll end up scooping all the Ravens, but there's only like 3 to 4 Ravens you want, so then maybe you tack on like a Jaden Reed or kind of another third team piece to close it, but you end up like pretty much concentrated on 2 teams if you want. It's one of the builds that I think is really fun. Because I don't have a lot of Raven stuff, so it's been kind of fun to start adding them when you have some of those Eagles onslaughts or some of these other builds where you've got like a team covered against the entire AFC, and then you can bet on the Ravens being maybe not even the team that gets to the Super Bowl. They just need to get to the playoffs and win a game or 2. Which, my God, if they can't beat the Steelers.
man, you want to talk about fun stuff for next year for best ball? Luther Burden, who has become the man of the week for playoff best ball for us. I've been getting a ton of Luther Burden. I'm wondering.
He's the man of the week for Sam Sherman winning $2 million. I mean, this guy's more than just a fun click right now. He's coming off a huge game.
I wonder where he goes next year. It's
yeah. So I threw out 4th round or 5th round, and I forget who. Maybe it was Davis was saying even earlier. But where do you think? Where do you think he goes?
I was thinking like late 3rd, early 4th, like kind of where Xavier Worthy went. It's just so much stronger of a profile than Xavier Worthy coming out of college. And
I had them. I think I had them same tier.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the Worthy stuff there was one good season, and then it was like seasons where he did different things. Where Burden, it was the 2 really strong seasons, and then he kind of waned in the 3rd.
Yeah. Let me see where I had those guys relative to each other. Worthy, I had as a late 1st round rookie pick, and Burden I had as an early 2nd. So actually I had Worthy as a stronger prospect by a tier. Burden I had in the same tier as McConkey, Ricky Pearsall, and A.D. Mitchell. The issue with Burden, right, he falls to the 2nd round. He has that inefficient final season. So the nice thing with Burden is that people were off the scent a little bit. He didn't get treated in that, he had a ton of opportunity in front of him. He was treated kind of like a lower tier prospect. He's treated kind of like he's a worse prospect than Jaden Higgins, when he was like definitely a better prospect than Jaden Higgins. So we got a big discount on Burden, but I still think if we had to pay like a 5th round price for Burden, that would have been too much.
No, yeah. I don't think we would have gotten much this year.
Yeah. All right, Roma Dunze. So we're starting to get the full Bears, and I did say that we wouldn't have a single Broncos, so hopefully Sidekick doesn't betray me. Uh-oh.
You got to trust the room.
So the funny thing is, the one IKB we made here was I took us to AJ Brown because I didn't think we'd get Stafford back instead of Kyron, but we could have had Barkley, Kyron, Stafford, which isn't as fun because you don't have Puka, and obviously they can't play each other in the Super Bowl. So the Barkley Kyron isn't the most fun start in the world, but obviously there's ways that you can then play it on the AFC side to get receivers. So that's a start that maybe we do end up with Jags, because who cares if you don't have ETN? If you've got Kyron, it's not as big of a deal. Where else do you think? Maybe that would have also taken us into Broncos.
Yeah, that can get you into Broncos. Basically, just the AFC is so open. Like, I can take you into Ravens. What if you just had all the best Ravens pieces with that, and then you have a chance that your Saquon pick is valuable because it's Ravens Eagles Super Bowl. You have a chance that it's Rams Ravens. So.
This is nice because this gives us the Broncos as a potential other. Now, it's not like we need the piece on the Bears. We've got plenty of Bears to cover us, but
it helps us ladder up in finals where it's Bears.
It helps us ladder up, yeah.
It's also guaranteed round 2 points, which we like.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of round 1 points already. So,
that's an interesting point from kind of an advance rate perspective. Those 2nd round advance rate points with the bye teams are guaranteed. They'll be there. They have to be there.
Like a squirrel, storing nuts for the winter. You're stashing these players for round 2 points once you have enough for round 1.
Yeah, BBM Burden carrying the rookie wide receiver BBM shipper torch. Who was it last year? I forget.
Ricky Pearsall.
Oh, that's right, Ricky Pearsall. So it's literally been every single year. KJ Hamler, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyquan Thornton, Ricky Pearsall, and now Luther Burden. Oh, Jaden Reed. I skipped Jaden Reed. Tyquan Thornton, Jaden Reed, Ricky Pearsall, and
man,
Luther Burden.
Could Jaden Reed just nuke in the playoffs for me?
Have you sent the link?
I did send it to our first guest. I'll go ahead and let him know that we are ready for the first entrant into the LegUp winner circle for 2025 to hop on.
Answer some questions in the meantime. Last year at this time, I was sober and I cannot get excited for the next season of best ball. This year, I cannot wait. I will say that the rookie stuff gets me excited. I'm hoping that we get like a big enough break so that the college football season ends. I would like for the college football season to end before, which I assume it will, but we'll see. What's with the change from 2 to 6 to 1 to 6 on underdog? I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but it is a huge deal.
I think
it's a big deal.
I think it's a good change because what it does is it cuts the amount of min cashes they have to pay out in half. That's if you're someone who's playing with the expectation of profit, that's really good for you because that allows there to be more money in the finals, more money at the top of the leaderboard, which if you have an advantage, your advantage is coming because you're able to finish high more often than the average person. And so you want more of the money there. And so reducing the min cash is very, very nice. And that's a clean way to do it. And then the big trade-off is it's just going to change the strategy of the game. And that's what the mittens are for. The mittens are there. Hey, this is 2 of 6. You can get through a little easier. Not as top heavy because you're getting that min cash. So I really like the fact that they have both 1 of 6 and 2 of 6. It really makes it nice from a portfolio standpoint too, because I'll get a lot more buy teams. I'll get more 49ers and Broncos and Seahawks in the mittens than I will in the gauntlet, which for me personally is nice because it helps to reduce your risk a little bit, and lets you any chance that you have to make an evaluation against the market, and have it be a different evaluation, I think is good if you have an advantage in a game.
All right, welcome to the stream. Goods, how's it going, man?
What's going on? Pretty good, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Sack, do you have can you share the screen?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get his
team.
one of his winning lineups up here. Let's go ahead and share this. All right. Let me know if you can see this okay.
Yep, we can see it.
So, Goods, this was the big board, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about this one. I'll kind of scroll through the team, and you can maybe narrate for us. Tell us who you felt the key players were, just some stuff like that.
Yeah. So this one, I believe it's a 3-5-8-2, something like that, or 9-2 because it's a big board. Had the Drake May to Demario Douglas, the Cardinals stack with Kyler, McBride, and Wilson, and then the Jags, Trevor, and ETN, and then locked into the Jacoby Myers there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think the key to this team was kind of just the team stacks, because you got the full Cardinals without Marv, and then you don't even need Kyler, because you got Drake and Trevor.
Right.
And then I also the ETN and Trevor stack kind of got me through a lot of I think it was 16, 15, and 16. They kind of hit my lineup they're pretty important there. And then I also lucked into the Luther Burden and Colston Loveland little mini stack there.
Nice, yeah.
And they both hit the week 17. So
that's awesome. Yeah, so you had in a way, like this like Drake May skinny was kind of the way to go. He didn't, it was kind of tough. We weren't really taking Booty, right, or Hollins or any of the cheap guys that actually played a bunch. Diggs was a solid pick, but you didn't need him. So yeah, May, and then you had the reverse because you had the Cardinals receiver with the quarterback who got benched. So that kind of May kind of covered your Kyler in a nice way.
And I probably don't even get to Michael Wilson without Kyler there, and he was a big part of this team.
And you cleared the second place finisher by some absurd amount in the finals, right? You had it locked up early.
Yeah, I think I won by like 23 points. This team was I think it was the highest scoring like finals winner on Underdog, except for there's one like Superflex team that beat it.
No, you can't. You can't count Superflex.
Man, what an insane brag! You drafted a team before we even knew what teams these players were on, and it was the highest scoring team across all the non-Superflex. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was like a third quarter of the Monday night game. The BBMDB was like, yeah, you're 100% like locked in. You're to first place. So
I remember looking at that because I was kind of poking around at some of the other finals during that game, and I was like, oh, okay, this one's done.
That beat on 93 yarder kind of helped me out.
Yeah. Do you know if this team finished first or second, or I guess third in its initial pod? Because was it 3 to get out?
Yeah, three of 12 to advance in round 1.
Yeah, I went back and looked. It was first place. It was pretty easily first place. I think it was 60 points it won by.
Wow. Okay. And then, do you know how close you were to getting through 15 and 16?
Yeah, it was actually pretty close. I think I won by 4 points in both rounds. Okay. And I had pretty high scores too. I had like 184 was a week 15 score, and someone had 180.
Wow. Were you sweating that, or you just did you like kind of have this team tagged as a really good one, or how much?
No,
Okay.
no, not really.
Yeah. Did you have other stuff that you were like hoping would get in that didn't, and then because
Yeah, I put down a lot of volume, so I
Okay.
couldn't really pay attention until
Got it,
week
yeah.
17, really, on specific teams. But
Yeah,
this
I always
one
think it's
wasn't my
funny because
highest scoring team, but it was up there, probably maybe like eighth or something in the big board.
it was your 8th highest scoring team in the big board.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so it was like a good team. You'd like to see it in there, but not like you were living and dying by it. What was kind of your takeaway as far as the key to the team?
Yeah, it's got to be the team stacks. So the Cardinals, even with Kyler, and then the Jags really helped me out. ETN was a big hit. Took a big stand on him in the big board, so that worked out for me here. Got to sneak through Henry and Bijan.
Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, and nice to see LegUp sub with the Derrick Henry team that won. Not a ton of them, but Derrick Henry at the end went nuts. So, should we draft a gauntlet?
Let's rip one, yeah. And Goods, you also took second in the marathon, is that right?
Yeah, second in the marathon. I also got
Hell
second in the biggest board, and that one was my dog's going crazy. That one was pretty fun because it was a off and on the clock stream draft, and I hopped in there, and I was a little nervous, so I was like, all right, Sidekick, you're gonna do the job, and I just top guide everyone in that one.
Incredible.
Okay.
I'll give you guys that one, 100%.
We'll take it.
Are you changing anything about like the pace that you're going to do drafts, specific windows you're going to think about targeting? Are you pretty much sticking to the same sort of draft? I mean, maybe higher volume, one might guess, after having a good year. But other than that, any plans to change your sort of approach to when and how you're drafting?
No, I mean, I think I put in a lot of volume this year, but I'll probably, up the stakes a little bit. I guess I can do that. But yeah, I think I like just kind of spreading it out over the course of the summer, get different combos, things like that.
Yeah, I just think that's more fun as well.
Yeah.
It's like if I have time to draft, then I'm going to draft because I like drafting. And if I don't have time, then I'm not going to do it. So Pete Overzet's in this one. I think he might also be streaming it, so we'll see. It's a little rival draft, rival stream thing happening, maybe.
I wonder if the cash game king bit will be alive and well in this playoff best ball draft.
Yeah, what's he doing? This is a pretty top. This is one of 6. This isn't even in the mix. Goods, what are you doing in this spot if you're in the gauntlet?
Just do another Barkley team.
Yep. Have you been in the playoff best ball streets?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Been in the streets. Actually, I was looking at my like team exposure on the best ball explorer thing, and the Packers are not my highest team.
Okay.
It's actually the Eagles. So
Oh,
a lot of big Eagle stacks, I guess.
the Eagles stuff just feels like it shouldn't be allowed. Like why can I get all of them? So yeah.
Drake May.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's on the winning team.
Yeah, dance with the one that brought you, right?
Right. Yeah, Drake May's pretty strong because even as a second round pick, sometimes I end up using him as like an advance rate quarterback, depending on how the team shakes out. Like a JS, it would be more of JSN Drake May type of team, or maybe you actually have Seahawks bye, and you don't end up with the full Patriots thing. But obviously you can go full Patriots, which I've done plenty as well. AJ Brown coming back here would be pretty nice.
I know. I was gonna say we're gonna be in an interesting spot regardless, where we're pretty happy with whoever comes back to us.
Yeah. Oh, Pete streamed in 20 minutes ago. So this is all right. So we've got Pete. Once he's done streaming, look at him. He's drafting. This is not a cash game. This is not a cash game. It's almost like it's a bit. Travion Henderson is kind of a smash here. I have noticed on DraftKings Sack sometimes this will be Diggs because of the wide receiver.
Yeah, because you run out of wide receiver points pretty quick for the old Patriots if you don't get Steph Diggs. And you have Ramondre as the fallback if you miss out on Henderson.
You'll also get Henderson back on DraftKings like way more.
You will. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some gigantic Patriots stacks on DraftKings from the last couple of days. I just like have all of them. I had like the 2-hole too, so it's like a Puka full Patriots type stuff.
Man.
Yeah. All right, so we got this guy John here doing. Oh yeah.
It's got a fun Bills thing going here.
Yeah, and stays out of our lane on the Pats. You love to see that.
Question in the chat was, what are we doing to differentiate with the full Philly stack? And I think the answer is it's just whatever comes to you in that draft room. Like, I have plenty of these full Philly stacks where you end up getting a different AFC team where you're getting one-offs with them. A lot of times when you get like a strong 5-man team stack like that, the Sidekick will just give you multiple 1 or 2 offs from AFC opponents that could show up in the Super Bowl.
Sometimes you'll end up with, it'll be like 5 Eagles plus 5 AFC players from different teams. Like it'll kind of throw potential Super Bowls at you, where you're like, the Eagles are making the Super Bowl and they'll probably score some decent points. So like get these guys who you're just hoping you kind of get one of them to the Super Bowl or a couple of them to the conference championship game and score a bunch of points along the way. Those builds are really fun. They're not like, it's fun when you're kind of breaking like the rules a little bit because you've unlocked like a new set of rules. Ramondre? You guys good with that?
Good with me.
This one's not very exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and click the best player for the team here.
We just take the obvious pick again?
Yeah, I'm going to have to think through how how to handle playoff best ball a little bit differently next year maybe, or just like really stress more to the community about like drafting. It's really important to draft in different windows. It's really hard to get diverse. Like I'm noticing it a lot in my 3-3-3s and the big mitten or biggest mitten or whatever the 250 is on. I'm actually getting so many of the same team because that's the only time that volume is running. That it makes it. I mean, I'm okay with the risk because it is a relatively small amount of my portfolio, but I do think that if you had a bunch of people who just grabbed the Sidekick the last 2 weeks, they're going to have a lot of similar teams. And while that's okay from an EV perspective, I think stressing how important it is to get as much volume as you can spread out is something I wish we had hit a little harder.
I agree, because it's just really tough to swim against the current in playoff best ball. Like the rooms are going to give you certain things and make other types of builds really, really hard to pull off without someone blowing you up. But those types of builds, some different types of builds were actually quite easy to build 2 weeks ago that are no longer very viable now.
I was looking back and seeing like literal all Jags onslaughts with my last 5 picks, just.
We could push Booty here if we want to get into the Bears stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Burden.
Yeah, it looks like
what
the Sidekick is going to want to do is get into Bears after Booty anyway. And we're not concerned with the people on our right taking Booty from us. They've stayed out of the Patriots lane. So
yeah,
I think that's reasonable. That's a good room reading spot. Also, it's just fun to click Luther Burden.
Yeah, I like clicking Luther Burden.
He is the really nice natural hedge that's arisen for our monster Packers exposures, because they're pretty likely to play the Packers in round one, and so it is nice to know that, you know, if something does happen to my Packers bags, maybe I just get a bunch of Luther Burden through instead.
Yeah, I mean the Bear, like with the Bears, we weren't really taking the Bears a week ago, and like not at all before then. And Sack, you'd sometimes talk about this, where it's like we get the additional information of like, okay, like the Bears. In this case, it's not that they weren't going to make the playoffs and now are, but they're like, okay, they look like they're kind of live to maybe make some noise, more live than we thought before, and the prices really haven't changed. You can just like build. We just did the previous stream. We just built a Bears onslaught starting in what, round 5, round 4? When did we take Swift?
Yeah,
I think it was around 5. Yeah, and then we just took all the Bears. So you get that additional information, and the prices don't change. Then it's pretty easy to get some exposure built in. So this is the week that I've started taking Bears, and I'm not hammering them, but I'm definitely trying to get some.
You know what is also a fun dynamic that we'll have to think through for next season's playoff best ball is when you find yourself in a room with multiple Sidekick drafters, you'll get like Shady was talking about in the 3-3-3s. You know, I'm seeing 3 Sidekick drafters in each of those, and so all of a sudden, Josh Jacobs does not fall to me as a piece to help me advance. Right. And so then I do, you know, necessarily get pushed into more DeAndre Swift, or I get pushed into a little bit more, you know, Woody Marks or some of the guys that go in those mid rounds, even some Zach Charbonnet, where it's like, yeah, you just need
Look
some.
At Dallas Goedert here. Dallas Goedert's just been hanging out, waiting for us to take him finally.
That's good for us. That'll work.
Yeah, I probably would have IKB'd to him over Booty, but
yeah,
so it works out either way.
That's huge.
Yeah, wow, some of those people will just leave guys for dead if you know, if a lane gets occupied, but the guy who started it doesn't want to keep going down it, people just get left for dead in some rooms.
Goods, what do you want to do with this last pick? We could do Patriots, add-on. We could do Caleb. We could do Kyle. You could even steer into like the Packers, like a more of just a round 1 advance piece. Do you have something you want to close the team out with?
I like Caleb as the 2 QB.
All right, let's do it.
Some security there.
Is there anything on your top of like wish list, or would it be neat if the Sidekick could do this that you've thought about, or like pain point that you're like, sucks that I have to deal with this?
Yeah, I know you guys have talked about it before, but having some sort of like measure, like an EV like box on each player, so you could tell like, okay, is the top guy, you know, clearly the best pick for your team, or is it, you know, kind of spread out through the top, you know, however many. I think that could be really helpful.
All right, let's review the team here quickly. We got Saquon Barkley. We do the big Patriot stack that kind of just fell into our lap without any fuss. Go into Burden, Caleb Williams, little Bears bet, and then tack on Dallas Goedert for the Eagles. So, I mean, Patriots, Bears, Patriots, Eagles. This team is in really, really good shape. Any thoughts from anyone on this team?
Let's just run like good for the season, man.
Could we maybe score the most points of any non-Superflex team in 2026? That'd be good.
Superflex playoff best ball.
Yeah, I mean,
oh boy,
tempt me with a good time.
You want to talk about some edge?
Woo. Goods, anything you want to shout out before you get out of here? I appreciate you coming on, and congrats, man. Congrats on an incredible year.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you guys having me. I'll just see you guys in the streets. You know, don't snipe my stacks. Yeah.
Likewise.
All right, take it easy, man.
All right. See you.
We are going to be having a another guest on here just in a second. I did want to mention that the Sidekick, you can check it out at legendaryupside.com/sidekick. In the yearly subscription covers a full calendar year, so it includes playoff best ball, pre-NFL draft best ball, and summer best ball, all under one subscription price. It works out to about $50 a month if you're drafting year round for about 10 months that we cover. So yeah, check it all out, legendaryupside.com/sidekick. Do we have the next team here? Let me get rid of this. So we've got Lee joining us here. Lee, how's it going? Tell us about your best ball year.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I had an interesting best ball year. So I kind of went into it planning to max on BBM, weekly winners and eliminator, and then doing as much DraftKings as I could. Sack, you've got my DraftKings team up here. That's the one that ended up hitting the best for the season long best ball stuff. I used Sidekick a lot as I was drafting all of them to help. Did a lot more slow drafts. This one was a slow draft, and that's key to be able to pick up from where I was as I'm drafting through this thing. And that was all these different tools that are out there, having that and not needing to worry about and remember what I was doing and have my own notes and just be like, hey, this is going to tell me kind of where I should be going with this and what I should be looking at. So, but yeah, I had a very interesting year overall. I ended up with a weekly winners win as well.
Nice.
And yeah, hit and qualified for the dog bowl again and made both BBM final and then the DK Millie final. So
hell yeah.
That's a heck of a year. Congrats, man.
Thanks. I've got to figure out how to do better in these finals to pull on here, but I mean,
that is an important part. Yeah.
I'll scroll through the team here, and you can tell us a little bit about it. Some of your takeaways, who you thought the keys to the team were.
Yeah.
I mean, so we can see more of.
The key to the team, definitely. I mean, I've got Olave, Puka, and JSN, so those were the key to it. Kind of carried a subpar running back group through. Got King Henry though for in week 17.
Nice.
Aaron Jones, yeah. Trey Benson is kind of like the what if could have been to help fill it in. And I have way too many Panthers on here, and they just bombed in week 17. I had a lot of leverage, and I thought I had something live early on.
Wow, you had Dowdle and Hubbard.
Yeah, I went with both of them. I like Rico. Rico was one of, if not my highest exposed running back on the entire year.
Nice.
So I liked him in Dallas, and I don't know. I don't think Chuba's all that great. He produces. They run the ball a lot, so I just thought the opportunity could be there.
That was a good take, yeah.
So, and I'm not a big take person on here, so I like to spread out a lot of my exposures. But yeah, I do like Rico, and it paid off for the most part. He kind of tailed off at the end though. So.
Yeah, that was disappointing. It kind of moved it back into a split, so neither of those guys ended up having as much value as they could have if it was just one. But yeah, that run he was on in
that was fun.
Early to mid-season was fun.
It was. Yeah, I know Sacky gave us some homework on researching the team and what we had. So in the pod, this one ended up in second place. It was 20 points back at first place, but cleared third place by about 80. So it wasn't just barely getting by. I had about 20 of my teams. I only did about 70 on DK. I think it was 20 made it out of the pods. And so I wasn't really sweating week 15, which I'm glad because this one only got out of there by 3 points. So week 16, I paid a lot more attention to, and it had 215 points. So, I mean, it
nice.
It cleared week 16 to get into the final pretty easily. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, Chris Godwin coming on at the end for this team is pretty nice too. That's a fun one to turn on. Wish you would have turned on a little earlier with how much Chris Godwin I had.
Yeah, that would have been nice for sure. Yeah, and Sunday morning, Godwin and Michael Wilson both scored early in that game, and I already had Henry's points banked. I was up in like third at one point in time, and I'm like,
man.
if only
Wow.
they kept that going. And Puka's on this team, and he doesn't even hit my lineup. So
That's crazy. What was his final score?
he missed by like point.
Okay.
Yeah, so JSN pips him by 5 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and then you had that catch called back and the long touchdown on the hold. I mean, not that it was the end all, but that those two together, I think, probably cost me $15K. So
Man.
Yeah.
My finals team was also on DK was also JSN Puka. So yeah, could have used more from those guys.
Pat and I each had JSN, Puka, Amon-Ra finals teams that ended up, we were literally, I think, the exact same score or 0.1 apart.
It was me, you, and Drew Dinkmeyer. All three of us had those guys, I think, plus Kittle. Me and Dink definitely had plus Kittle. I'm not sure if you did, but the three of us, like, I took a screenshot of it because it was like you, Drew, me, and then it's like if I get enough from Puka to pass a 10, I'll be the third of this trio, or the first of this trio instead of the third. But yeah, not quite enough from those guys.
No. Yeah, it was disappointing, but I mean, this team wouldn't have been there without him, so can't really complain.
No, and the Michael Wilson, I mean, what a huge contribution from him.
Yeah, and I had a decent amount of him too overall. Part of that was driven by I loved McBride this year. I was actually taking McBride over Bowers, which I know is not the take on this side.
Well, it's correct. You're right.
It did work out. It was predicated on the offense. I don't like Pete Carroll. Well, I just did not think that was going to go well. And I kind of hope he's a one and done and not back for next year.
I think he almost has to be.
Bowers is definitely live. So Bowers is a better player, in my opinion, like overall as a football player. But yeah, I took a lot of McBride, and then Wilson came along with it because I was taking very little Harrison.
Yep. So let's see. I've jumped us in a DraftKings playoff draft because you were in the DK Millie final. Had a nice finish there. Have you been over here in DraftKings doing playoff best ball at all?
I have not done a single DraftKings playoff one. I've done a few on Underdog, but yeah.
Well, get ready for some craziness.
Okay.
Yeah.
People don't stay in their lane as well over here.
They're what lanes? It's nuts over here.
You said you did most of your volume in slows. How are you managing the overnight clocks on DK? Because they're a
I was
little
gonna
less
ask the
smooth than the Underdog ones as far as making sure you don't miss picks in the morning or night, depending on your time zone.
I just would log in the morning and at night. It was often the last thing I did before going to bed. I drove my wife crazy by the end of the season, but it was one of those, just got to do it. So.
Yeah, that was my routine as well. I didn't do very much slow volume on DK, just the fear of getting timed out. I had a few.
I'd like to be able to sleep for like 8 hours and 5 minutes. I want to be able to do that in the summer. So
yeah. I've got kids who get up at 6 o'clock every single day.
That's the hack. Okay.
Yeah. Program your kids to be your alarm clock. You can't.
Used to not enough sleep. Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Sidekick dads out there, take notes. That's how you get your volume in. Your kids are your alarm. That's how you can max everything on DK. They'll get you up before your 8-hour clock runs out.
Yeah. Well, and the slows too. I generally would hop in those when they were running a promo. So, and I just didn't want to miss the promo, whatever it was. So
that makes sense.
Other than that, I was way more volume over on Underdog.
So I mean, so far pretty normal, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, Allen comes off. Let's go James Cook. We haven't taken him. Barkley's fun because you can end up with the Barkley May, but we literally just did that.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't do it again.
Was this your first year putting in a large amount of best ball volume?
This is the most I've put in. The last couple of years I had max BBM and broke even on them. But yeah,
You good with Drake May?
always. I know that's
It's
not
funny.
a hard so.
I'm just enjoying the dynamic of we bring people on who banked and then make them draft Drake May.
This was my son's first year playing fantasy football too. Like they're playing with their friends. They both drafted Drake May. So somehow that indoctrination happened early. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Six kids and mostly slows. I think it's 6 kids. How much sleep are you getting per night? Yeah, you might as well just do fast, in the middle of the night, if you can get the rooms to fill.
Man, what a way to introduce your kids to fantasy football too. They get to draft, the best quarterback in the league at such a discount. That's too fun.
They're going to be chasing that for a long time.
Yeah. I was going to say, I still remember drafting Julio Jones for my first ever fantasy football team. And that definitely will get you. Yeah.
Well, they both drafted him as their backup to Knicks and backup to Dak. And by week 3, they had switched. So
awesome.
Yeah, the Mahomes year, he was going too late. The Lamar second year, he was going way too late. I remember taking Kyler as a rookie with Pete on a high stakes team ahead of Lamar. I should have taken Lamar. So you do get those quarterback breakouts sometimes. They're very fun when you get them. But it's every 3-4 years maybe. To the level we just got, with me.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, Devontae Adams came all the way back?
Yeah.
Damn.
Don't get much of this.
That is awesome. So James Cook is kind of an advanced rate piece here, but May Adams is beautiful.
That's a nice advance rate piece to have. So
yeah. And then Nico here.
I would assume this guy goes Nico Hurts, but no.
Wow. So you do want to go Nico and bet on the points, or try to play it through more strictly Patriots Super Bowl?
I think we can do Nico and bet on the points. There's just not going to be very much of this. And so it's when you happen to live in the universes where Patriots ended up flopping in round 1 or Diggs flops in round 1, this will be something that you could end up getting through to a final where it was just really hard to get. So I don't want to turn my nose up at Nico Collins in the 4th round. You just, I don't think I've seen that on DK.
Yeah, and that's how you take advantage of the madness, right? You take the discount a little bit. So we might end up into a Texans thing. That seems possible, although I'm actually not seeing Stroud. So
I've seen it happen once you end up you'll get Marks recommended if Jacobs isn't there or something like that, and then you'll fall into this full.
Yeah, well, so
Diggs and Henry both go.
Right. That's kind of what I was anticipating. That with the Patriots end up getting snapped up, and we might end up playing this into. It's interesting. We're actually getting the Bills popping up too. Packers.
Yeah, it can just be the other side of Packers or Bears.
Yeah. Because you have so you can go Bills Packers as another viable. You guys like Jacobs here?
Yeah, let's
or
do.
We could go Shakir, Kincaid, play it more through the Bills.
I think Jacobs probably for me. This room is really weird. If you look at the board, there's just people doing nutty stuff.
Go with Jacobs. So why not?
Wouldn't be a sidekick team if we didn't, right?
Yeah.
So now we're into Packers, which I'm fine with.
I tend to like them in these rooms because we get them earlier than their ADP, so it's harder for us to get locked out by the room doing weird stuff. And then sometimes there'll just be a follower that we'll get as we go through. There's a nice ad, but it stops us from having to navigate what the 5 and was it 6 and 4? 2 of them are doing really weird stuff.
The way to push it would be to take the Bills because they have the earlier ADPs, but it's tough to get both of them.
Because we could end up preferring Patriots even by going into like Ramondre, and then we're playing Packers Super Bowl with Drake May as your, we have Love and May, but then May is the one you need in the Super Bowl. Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting one. I don't think I've ever really gotten this.
Well, you're live for Rams too. If you can get 4 Patriots Rams, then you have, we're not going to have Henry. We're not going to have most of the Patriots, but if we get Ramondre.
And we have lots of Rams tight end outs too. So.
Exactly. So you can cover it that way. And then you get the Patriots, booty or whatever receiver. But Love is popping as the cleanest. This dude here, so I would be tempted to go Ramondre. I don't see how this dude out of the 6 wants Love. So if we get both back, I think I would want to go Ramondre there.
Yeah.
And play for Love on the turn.
Yeah, Love does not make sense for him in the slightest. So.
And Ramondre does.
Yes. Yep.
Because he can fill out. He's looking to fill out different Super Bowl. I mean, maybe he just goes like Flowers, because he only has 4 Eagles, so he needs to fill out 2. But he's got enough spots where he could go a couple Chargers, couple Ravens, couple Pats. Yeah, we just had goods on. You can the old rewind if you want to check that out. I'd be very wary of New England. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a tough spot to be wary of New England. We're pretty May-pilled. Are you guys good with Ramondre and trying to push Love?
Yeah, earlier ADP and less likely to be snapped. Seems good to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, and so we read that right, where the Sidekick does still want Love. But it was just a matter of how do you get both. So let's do Love. And then did Booty go? No.
I think so. No.
So it has us prioritizing Packers stuff over Patriots stuff. To get to Patriots Rams, we're only halfway there.
Yeah, we're a little far from Patriots Rams. Losing Parkinson.
And you don't have Kyron or
Puka.
or
Diggs or
Travion. Yeah, so it's just not the Super Bowl that it wants you to.
Right.
It might tack something on at the end, but it's not.
It's more of like a min cash Super Bowl type of thing.
Yeah, or like 40th percentile. I think people forget that these finals are not like a GPP for like DFS. Like there are payout gradients way earlier than a min cash line. So there is like advantages from going from 50th to 30th percentile and things like that. As opposed to just a min cash line that starts at 20 and basically goes to 10%.
Wait, explain that a little bit more.
So like a DFS GPP, you get basically everything up to the min cash line, which is at like 20%, is just a 0. And it doesn't matter how well you do between those, where the finals in these best balls, they're actually you can move up in payment slots all the way up from whatever, 50th or so, depending on the contest. And so there is value to finding a place where you can get a little bit better than like the median of the teams that are there. So it does like to try and get you, even if it's a team that's dead to first, we'll do some like wiggle things sometimes just to get that little extra min cash payout. Because of the way that the curve is compared to what we would expect from a 30% or 25% to first DFS contest.
Yep. One interesting thing here is we could do Dalton Schultz, so he just goes there.
Okay.
I thought he was pretty strong for tight end points because we don't have a tight end yet.
He would have been nice for our Nico. But I think that's okay. We'll just end up with a Packers tight end, and maybe we end up with
Random Rams tight end or
Austin
something.
Cooper, or a random Rams tight end.
It'll sort of start balancing the round 1 points versus the Packers Super Bowl ones.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Good
And
old
AJ Barner popping maybe as a round 2 guy. We could probably get Musgrave if we want to. If we think we're going to take 2 Packers, we could just do that.
I don't think there's much risk of people taking Dobbs either, and I'd prefer to just know what maybe the Sims are going to jam tight end here. So
That's
I
a good
want
point.
I want the additional information.
It is Dobbs, but I don't mind going. Oh, Woody Marks is still here.
Yeah, Woody Mark's still on the board too.
Dalton would have fallen one more pick. It would have been interesting.
Yeah,
I think I would have been into that because I like the Texans as a potential Super Bowl team. We have Nico Collins, and we need the tight end points. So, you're kind of like, or how serious are you about the Texans making the Super Bowl? And I'd be willing to be serious about that. So, Mark's coming back here is kind of interesting because we're looking at full Packers with one more Packer, right? We've got Jacobs, Watson, Musgrave, Reed, Love. So we just need one more Packer for full Packers. Why don't we take Marks here and make the Texans Super Bowl a lot more interesting?
yeah, that makes sense to me. I would assume that Marks will pop up after we get that last Packer. So,
and like Dobbs to Wicks is kind of. I mean, you'd rather have Dobbs, but it's not the end of the world, and we'll probably get him anyway. And here we go. Romeo Dobbs.
well, I think when you get teams like this, you're really praying for that super strange, uncommon combination you got to just be the thing that smashes in round 1. Because it'll be really hard for other people to have that. And so we could end up with some very unique teams going forward against us.
What you're actually hoping for is that, let's see. When whatever comment we got about Vrabel being a choker, I think you're hoping that he is a choker, and that the Patriots get eliminated, but they go out swinging, because this is a lot more fun if it's Texans Packers than Patriot. We don't really even want the Patriots. I mean, honestly, you'd be happier for the Bills to get there.
Yeah, you're pretty happy if it's Texans because you have their 2 highest projected players. So
yeah, and then you'd be okay with Bills as long as it's a James Cook alpha game. So, but yeah, Lee, thanks for joining us. Anything else you want to shout out here before jump off?
No, I appreciate you guys having me. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you, and congrats, man. Congrats on an awesome
congrats on a good season, man.
Thank you. See you later.
Later. All right, let's answer some questions here before we bring on our next guest. Does a Sidekick consider history tendencies? What are the tendencies of teams playing as poorly as the Rams the last 5 weeks? We don't have like tendencies. We've got the strength of the team, right? We've got the team strength is accounted for, but not necessarily down in the nitty gritty of stuff.
Yeah, I would say it all goes into the projections, right? So like it also reduces
that's true as well.
Points total, like the ranges of outcomes and the ways that we simulate out the game. Like it is, as much as you want to take a limited set of games into the future likelihood of something happening, we try to take it into account. But like we don't manually go, oh, this team is doing something and we should change something specifically because of this.
Yep. It's hard to build with New England because they're not concentrated enough. I mean, the prices, I think that sentiment kind of pushes the prices down. So you just saw us get the entire Patriots offense. Then you kind of go into Bears maybe, or you could go into Ravens, I guess. They're probably gone. But you can you can get into other teams late that help you maybe score points. And if you get into round 2 or round 3 and the Patriots are scoring points, I don't think that you're going to feel the pain of them not being concentrated as much as you do in the regular season, because there's just not that many teams that are alive, literally.
And the other teams will have zeros on them who are literally not playing. So
Yeah.
4 points is more than 0 most of the time. You'll find out, and so it helps.
Yeah. Goddard has an out tag on DK. That could be good for us.
Are they doing that with? Yeah, they must be doing that with all of the
The whole
teams. That are
everyone's
resting. This is
sitting.
gonna be,
That's
it's a
man.
sweet weekend.
That's very good.
Whew.
Yeah. Sidekick does love booty. That's true. An ideal build. How many guys do you want in a Super Bowl? And do you want multiple avenues of outs or prefer to overstack the outcome? Both are good. It kind of depends on what the room's going to give you. You want at least 5. Generally, you want to pretty much all. There's some times where it's like, hey, you can like technically get 5 players in the Super Bowl on Underdog or 6 on DraftKings because there's different roster requirements. DraftKings has 6 spots. Underdog has 5 in the starting lineup. Ideally, you do have a full lineup in the Super Bowl, but if it's like, hey, yeah, I took Nick Chubb and now I've got a full lineup, or I took, Ty Johnson to get a full Bills or whatever, it's like sometimes that's not the best move. Sometimes there might be a move that helps you get to an incomplete Super Bowl, might be higher EV. So the Sidekick's kind of helpful with those types of decisions. But rule of thumb would be it's good to have a full lineup in the Super Bowl. All right. And let's bring on our next guest. How's it going? Is it Ben or is it Nick? What's Ben saying? Nick?
So without outing my actual name, it's a combo of the two, first and last name. It's very the last name is very Christmassy, if you can put 2 and 2 together.
Sounds good. Do we have your team here?
I do. I've got it ready to share here.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Here.
Look at this. Strafe May.
Not Luther, Brent Bijan Robinson.
I'll zoom out.
And Luther Burden. Okay.
Look at that RB2 spot.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
That's my best RB2.
Wow. Man, yeah, you just had everything hitting except that RB2. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I didn't share the whole screenshot of the bench, but this is a Tyreek Hill to a team as well.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah. So a lot of pod luck involved. That's my my learning from the years that you need a lot of pod luck.
It does help. Did you finish first or second in the initial pod?
So this, I didn't go back and check that, but I would guess that this is probably a second place team just based in I had Monongai, Tyrone Tracy, and Dylan Sampson as my RB2s. There's no way I could have won my regular season with that. I mean, maybe I did, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I wasn't even sweating this team until the Bijan 93-yard touchdown because I was sweating my puppy team that got 6th.
I was gonna say you had a high finish in the puppy 4 as well. I'll share that one too.
So I was second. I was in second place going into Monday Night Football, so I was sweating this the entire time, and then I was like, I don't even know how high I can climb with the Bijan team, and then I was like, well, I guess I'll check after you.
And you were done. Did you have anything from Rams Falcons? No,
I had nothing on this team. I actually got
the Ramondre hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
The fun fact about this team scored the least amount of points to get to the finals of any Puppy 4 team, by a large margin. I think I got through on 145.
In week 16?
In week 16, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. I mean, that was what I was saying. The pod luck is just insane.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge part of it. But I mean, that's the goal. You got to get in these teams that score points in the final round. If you score fewer points before that and you still get through, that's very good for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good reminder. The last time I made the finals was my first year playing best ball, is when you won, Pat. And
nice.
I had a puppy team that was a Bengals Bills stack, but I didn't really realize going into Monday night. I was like, I didn't know what the expectation was to like get a team to the finals. So I was just like, oh, I only have this like one puppy team left. Like, who cares about it? But then I spent 2 years not making the finals at all, and so I got this team there, and I had 7 finals teams. But I thought this was over when Derrick Henry scored 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, but it helps to have like essentially a completely unique team with Jamar Chase and Jonathan Taylor and Trey McBride in the finals.
I like you. Bijan was kind of key. Like if I was gonna have a big week 17, I was like, I need Brees. I need Brees to do something, and it felt like, yeah, but there's no way in hell that happens. But he didn't smash, but he did enough to where other people can kind of. He's not holding you back, so yeah,
for
fun
sure
to see him here.
Yeah, and like Jonathan Taylor had like a 20-yard touchdown called back, so I kind of sort of needed the Brees Hall touchdown. But yeah, it was, I don't know, Sunday started at noon and it just started raining touchdowns on this team, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I like slightly alive.
Man, the Trey McBride, Jamar Chase, only 10 Chase teams, 22 McBride teams in the finals is kind of crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was the only Jonathan Taylor, Chase McBride team in the finals. So
wow.
Yeah, I think it was after seeing JT against San Francisco the week before, I wasn't very hopeful, but at least to see him fall in the end zone once gave me like a little bit of baseline. I was like very worried about the running backs on this team going into the finals.
So you had cashes on Underdog and DraftKings. Do you have a preference of what playoff best ball team we do?
You can go for either one. I told I was on Sack before this. Vacation, and so they asked me for like ID verification on DraftKings, and so I'm like locked out of my winnings currently until they verify it. So, yeah, either one.
All right. Well, let's play on the site where you're not locked out. That's
that works for me. Well, so I mean, like the funny part of it is I did a bunch of early playoff best ball drafts on DK, but they like half of them are like Indianapolis teams because they're from like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah.
All right, we got a gauntlet going here. Oops, that's I gotta switch to the tab. Oh, here's Lee. All right, out of the 6 hole. 6 hole can be very fun, depending on what falls. Have you been in the streets much, Ben?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've done like, let's say I had like 122 in the way too early, and then I did 150 in the. I've done a lot of drafts on Underdog. Nice. I actually find the 6 hole to be kind of tough because I feel like it's, ideally you get the full Eagles stack, but like, that's like somewhat commonplace. I would say not commonplace, but like as far as like mega stacks are concerned.
Yeah, it's not rare. Yeah.
But I did notice the Sidekick has started recommending like Saquon May.
Saquon May, yeah. Saquon May is really fun.
Yeah.
If you can get JSN May, if you can get any of the Allen stuff out of the 6 is awesome.
It might be just because of the prevalence of the full Eagle stacks, where it's like, well, if you're getting an Eagle stack, you might as well have May as your quarterback instead. So you show up in the finals and you're different than all of those Eagles onslaughts. So
yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I'll take obviously Josh Allen and James Cook. I cannot get behind the Bills defense. Like I cannot see them making it to the Super Bowl with a monster run funnel.
Yeah, not a great weakness to have in the playoffs. Although the AFC is not. It'll be interesting to see if the Ravens make it because
it'd be so fun to see the Ravens get to do it to the Bills after the week 1 where the Ravens just looked like such a juggernaut, and then the Bills pull out the miracle. It'd be really fun for that to come full circle, though.
It would.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as a Broncos fan, I don't need to see the Ravens in the playoffs.
So, what do you want to do here?
Hey, James Cook. Oh, I mean, look, the Sidekick won me a bunch of money this year, so I'm not gonna.
I like Cook here too, but given your take on the Bills defense, I didn't want to plow ahead without your sign off there. Cook we just did, but
let me ask you this though, like James Cook is an advance rate piece as your like first round pick. Like, is that I don't know, is that worth the pick there to just be picking an advance rate piece in the first round, even if it's the end of the first round?
So when you take Cook May, one of them is an advance rate pick, but you don't know who yet. And I think the optionality that you get on the NFC side of kind of like you have different builds that can all kind of materialize, and you can also do things. I've had it needs to fall a certain way, but I've had teams that have like, it's like Packers, Bills, and then like, I've got the Patriots built out where I have, a different NFC team that fills the holes in the Patriots that I need, but I don't have a quarterback on that team. So I'm good with Packers, Patriots. The Packers can be paired with the Patriots or Bills, but the Patriots can be paired with another NFC team in addition to the Packers too. So you cover like these different Super Bowls. So I think to me the optionality of it makes it a little bit easier for me to get behind. But Sack, what are your thoughts on the Cook?
I think that's part of why I really like this start. One of the other things because I was getting so much of this Cook May, and I am with Ben. I'm a certified Bills hater, not because I really am just frustrated with like the front office and head coach. I think Josh Allen's incredible. I think the team deserves better. I think like organizationally they're not serious. And so after I had a ton of this May Cook, it's like, well, I know when I take James Cook, the Sidekick's going to tell me to take Drake May the vast majority of the time here. What if I start taking Drake May first? Will it instead want me to do Kyron some amount of the time, or and the majority of the time it's still Cook. It's like May then Cook, but I did have it sometimes start mixing in Kyron and other picks like that. So that's if you're. I don't really want a hard fade. I faded the Bills really hard at the start of these contests because the prices were just not tenable, and now they're just a little bit more. You can get some stuff that makes sense with Allen. You can get stuff that makes sense with Cook now, and so I'm trying to help balance out my portfolio overall and not.
Moving up has made Allen a better pick in some ways because you're more likely to get a player with Allen.
It pushes the other skill position guys down. It just So.
And he's fallen a little. Like he used to be more the 102, and now he's like the 103, 104.
Yep.
So he's a better pick than he used to be for sure.
But that one pick difference or two pick difference plus like Drake May pushing a guy down, that's the difference of like a whole tier of player, like 3 or 4 guys now can become accessible that weren't otherwise.
And it's like specifically NFC players too, that you're like now building through. Like Kyron is very helpful to Allen teams because you don't have Cook and you get that running back. And then maybe you get an Adams in round 3 sometimes. So yeah. It's been big. Travion Henderson, pretty into that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just kind of assumed it was giving us May Cook because you guys pre-programmed it to have Packers later on, right? Like,
well, would you look at that? Now you can. One way to do this, if you're like, why Packers not Bears, which is a comment I saw earlier, you could just take Bears here.
Yep.
Would be. Do you want to do that, by the way, and just prove that we have Bears programmed into the Sidekick? What do you prefer, Ben?
I like the Packers more and more. Actually, I'm talking myself into them. Maybe it's just like some cope from how many Packers I have. But I did wonder. This might be a question for Sack and Shaidy here. Like, is the Packers being like the Sidekick preferring the Packers so much? Does some of it have to do with like them potentially playing the Bears round 1? Because I think that's a different conversation if it's like the Eagles, right?
Yes. Part of it is the path for the Packers, right? Their probability of getting a second game is pretty decent. Just because they were playing the Bears. it's not to say, like, if we look at our relative team strength stuff on these guys, it's not that we're like, the Bears could never win against the Packers. It's just that compared to some of the other teams that you could face, like, you could do worse than having to play the Bears in round 1 of the playoffs. And so that's definitely part of it. The other part that I think is like, it sounds so obvious, and it's like, why are you even bothering to tell me this? But it's like, you can get all the Packers. So the Sims really like, even with it's a thin outcome, it's like, hey, Packers Super Bowl happens 10% of the time, or 8% of the time, or 5% if you're super bearish on it, right? The fact that when that does happen, you're just going to win the money, it's pretty good. And so if the market was less chill about giving you all the best Packers pieces, we'd like them a lot less. If you couldn't get Christian Watson, Josh Jacobs on every team that you wanted it, we'd probably be cooler on Jacobs, because then it's like, well, you end up in the Packers Super Bowl and you didn't have the nuts anyway, so why are we funneling into this so hard? And you're seeing that to a lesser extent with the Bears, where, Swift just is going to project for fewer points than Jacobs in the vast majority of matchups they could find themselves in, right? So that's like part of it. And then also slightly lower probability of the Bears to make a run than the Packers, although they're pretty close. I think in our last sim run I did, they're basically, it's like statistical noise between the two for who's going to actually make it to the conference championship game. And then, well, Hunter Henry getting sniped.
That was unfortunate.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
But going into the Packers is helpful, because again, Christian Watson here is pretty strong, especially when you need wide receiver points. And we're probably going to end up with some kind of gross Patriots stuff. So Reed is fine. I think we'd get Reed if we want to push him. Love, we can push. Booty's fine. Ramondre would be a 4th running back, but he'd be the guy who won't come back. Any thoughts on what to do here?
Ramondre will sometimes come back. I've gotten him back in like this exact spot. I would just
be Reed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would do Reed as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian Watson, I actually think to me, looks like the better pick than Jacobs earlier. Maybe that's just like recency bias, but I think like who's going to catch 250-yard touchdowns? Like Christian Watson would not be surprising to me.
That's Pat and I have been talking every time we're going and like updating the ranges of outcomes for players. We're like, would not surprise at all if Christian Watson's the Ladd McConkey of this season, where he's just scorched earth in round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah, because he has that deep threat profile. Dude, I was just pulling him up because I did the Roto-World Football Show earlier today, previewing Week 18, which was mostly me talking about the playoffs and next year. But talking about Watson, this dude, I did not even realize his ADOT is 18 right now. He's got like 2.5 yards per route run, and his career ADOT is like something like 16.7, and he's over 2 yards per route run for his career now. It's like, that's a very valuable skill set, and a skill set that can pop off pretty quickly. I've been kind of stunned how back he's been off that injury.
Yeah,
he's like, I was the most pessimistic on him of all the injured guys by, a decent margin anyway, and he's lapped, like Chris Godwin. So
Ayuk,
I didn't even want to mention. I mean, come on, he's
just
not even in the league.
Imagine if the Packers decide to throw the ball in the playoffs. Like, it could be such a fun team. I know you can design a very good offense. I know you can score points.
Part of the pessimism on Watson, right? Like, is like what he was showing before the injury. Like he's like significantly better now than he was before, right? So you were probably like, what do you win when you win with Christian Watson versus Ayuk? And like those were two totally different conversations 6 months ago,
Yeah,
totally. He's been truly awesome.
Could have foreseen the Watson level up off of an injury. That's pretty crazy.
So Jordan Love here and build a true Packers Super Bowl with the Bills. This is kind of what I was talking about, is that Drake May and Henderson might actually be our advance rate pieces, not Cook, if we build out with Love. You good with that?
Yeah.
Or would you rather play through Booty?
Well, if you do Love Booty, right? Like you can, are you still hoping? Like, you're not gonna have enough pieces from New England to just have a New England Super Bowl, unless you do booty here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you
you
can
can
do-
do booty, get Dobbs back.
Okay, let's do that. If you skipped Love, then you would have enough for. Well, you could still even do it where you play through a different Super Bowl on the other side.
Yeah,
This
we're
has
just
us maybe going through if like Woody comes back.
there's
later.
no good NFC running backs left. Is the problem?
Is the problem? Yeah.
This is
we're
the
locked
tough thing
into
about the Packers to me is like, once you get like real locked into the Packers, you're just like, oh no, I like need them in the Super Bowl. Otherwise, I don't have a full roster.
Well, we have Henderson though, so like we could go into who would it be? Dallas Goedert. But see, this is kind of the stuff we were doing before the Sims a little bit more, where you're like, I have the Eagles covered with Dallas.
Yeah.
Goedert. Like, do you? You don't have Barkley, Brown, or Smith or Hurts.
But you do like Loveland and like
Loveland
and hope that the Bears lose to the Lions this week.
Ooh,
right? That's viable.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
I'm like slightly concerned they are going to lose to the Lions. Like, I feel like they should be favored
That
by
feels-
more than three points at home.
It feels Lionsy.
The Lions just being feisty, on their way
Yeah.
out.
So this has Broncos as a potential additional piece for because we've got this fully covered, right? We've got do we? We got Jacobs, Watson, Reed, Love. So we only have
Need
4
one more.
Packers.
So
One
we
more,
do
yeah.
we do want one more Packer.
Yeah, but we'll take Dobbs and then we can fill it out with.
Is there actual
Maybe
news
something
on
the FC
Goddard?
said.
Why is he all of a sudden going in the 9th round on sites that don't have it marked as out?
He's ruled out of week
It says
18
ruled out,
with a
so
knee.
maybe people are worried about that. I don't know.
But they're starting Tanner McKee. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
Yeah, it's just weird. I expect it on DraftKings a lot because they get the little actual red tag, but you have to
Right.
like be paying attention to news and think it mattered for it to fall an underdog.
All right, yeah, Dobbs is pretty clearly the pick. I don't mind Troy Franklin. Yeah. Thoughts on Troy Franklin, Ben?
Convince me. Broncos
Okay.
fan, I'll take Troy Franklin.
All right, beautiful.
Nice little stamp at the end.
Who do you want to see round 1 for the Patriots?
Chargers.
You want to see the Chargers? Chargers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, what I would really like to see, sorry for you as a Broncos fan, is Trey Lance just rip through the Broncos defense. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Of backup quarterbacks, though, Trey Lance is probably like not top of the list, but he has me like somewhat concerned. I knew they weren't going to play Herbert because I was like, you going to put that somewhat meaningless game? You're going to put him back there with that offensive line and our pass rush? Like, I don't think you're going to do that.
Just
Chargers
let Nick
defense is
Gates
decent.
be off on
So
him for a little bit.
Yeah,
Chargers defense is good, but I feel like they don't do. I don't know. Maybe it's just like watching some of these other like my wife's a Texans fan, so we watch Texans Broncos all the time. Like, I don't feel like that the Chargers do necessarily like anything super creative. They kind of remind me of like the Eagles defense.
like
Kinda
bend
sorta.
don't break stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right, but I don't know. I could see it being like one of those 10-13 type of games.
The Texans Chargers matchup, that was actually a pretty fun defense. After the Chargers remembered that they did need to play defense after the first 5 minutes of the game, but they did some really creative stuff to get Stroud, to trick Stroud and get him wrong, basically whatever he decided, which ended up leading to those turnovers. I felt like they did pretty well there, but who's to say if they can string that together for an entire game, or if they'll have that lapse that. You give up 2 deep touchdowns. It doesn't really matter how sick you play for the rest of the game. That's not gonna be good.
Isn't the Chargers defense thing they give up they can't, their linebackers are too slow and they give up tons of edge runs? That could be a big Travion game, week 1 or first round plus.
Yeah, that'd be nice. All right, let's recap the team. Someone's saying that this is extremely on brand right now with to Shady's point, the Sidekick is got like, it's one of the things it's doing in playoff best ball is kind of identifying where the sweet spots are in that particular window. We do have 1.5 more windows left. The half being Saturday night, Sunday morning. We're going to know more stuff, but we won't know the result of the Ravens-Steelers game yet, so we won't have the full, and we won't have seen all the other games and everything that happened. So we do have that little window, and then obviously the post-week 18 window. And I would expect that there's going to be some different stuff. ADPs are going to change, and we might have different opinions on the team, might have slightly different opinions on some of the players. There could be some injuries, hopefully not, but that would obviously shake things up too. So there's going to be, it'll be interesting to see if we still are like all about Packers next week, or if we're, maybe all about Bears or something else. Like that stuff will swing and kind of does swing through the playoff tournaments in every window. So if you're newer to the playoff best ball stuff, just another reason to consider, trying to fire in as many of these little windows as you can. And I honestly think like I'm going to try to draft after the Saturday games a little bit, because I think it'll be kind of shaken up in some fun ways, and people will be trying to figure out the new meta. But Ben, anything you want to shout out before we get out of here?
No, thank you guys for everything. It's been an awesome season. I mean, we drafted like 60% Bowers, and the season goes this well. Imagine what would have happened.
There's always next year.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Good luck. Congrats, man. Later. All right, we've got Spalt on. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. We've got, let me add your underdog success to the screen here.
Yeah, the big $1 to 20K.
That's a heck of a return right there.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So this was the Little Dalmatian 2, correct?
This is the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay.
Nice.
Yes. Bunch of slow drafts in order to get that one done. But
dude, slow drafting the Little Dalmatian, you win the Grinder of the Year badge. Yeah. That's an absolute badge of honor, sir.
Yes.
Nice. Do you have the team? What was the actual team?
Yeah, I might take a second to pull it up, but 2% Derrick Henry found his way into this lineup as well. Of
okay.
course.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah. The big thing was no wide receiver scores. Basically took all Puka points over 1 going into the last day. So was really sweating out Puka that final game, and he was making it close. He wasn't off to his start he normally is. But.
Mm-hmm. And do you know where this team finished in the initial pod?
Yeah, it was in second, so it kind of popped off after. So let me find the actual team and I can send it to you. But it was a 3-5-7-3 with quarterback and tight end as 6 of the last 8 picks. So kind of just punted that. Yeah, I finished barely, kind of squeezed in week 1 to 14. Got a 155 week 15. Week 16 it popped off for 212.
Damn.
And then the 183 at the end.
Hot at the right time. You love to see it.
Seriously,
Yes.
man. Scoring over 200 points in weeks. Who? What was the second place score in that pod? Did you do it to somebody? Was there a 190 in there?
I think there was a 185 in there. So.
That's tough. You do. So that person scored more than you did in the final.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, you certainly earned your way in week 16. That's impressive. All right, I'm going to jump us in a gauntlet here,
Great.
and we'll get that going. Have you been doing any of the playoff best ball so far?
No, not as much. We took the kids to Disney last week for Christmas, so I was actually sweating
Nice.
the bathroom of the hotel room while the kids are asleep.
Incredible.
Making sure I didn't wake them up, and Puka scored a touchdown. They called back too, so a couple false celebrations. I had to bite my teeth in there. Didn't wake up the wife or anything. But
So you have what, headphones on and watching on the phone?
Yeah. I was watching the ship chasing stream as well. Kind of. You guys were going against Puka, but yeah,
Nice.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've got the team now. So after we finish this draft, I can pull it up and we can recap it. Tyler sent over the draft board for us, so we've got can see it in all its glory.
Yeah, I'll throw it up because the draft hasn't started yet.
Okay. So he's over there in the 8 slot. Puka, Henry, Chase Brown.
Nice. Wow. Late third round, Chase Brown.
Do you remember when this draft was? Oh, right, it's the first Dalmatian, so pretty early.
Yeah, pretty early.
Yeah, that's right. Chase Brown was going really late at one point. I forgot about this because he rocketed up.
Yeah.
That's why my team popped off in the playoffs. I mean, he was killer at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, that's for that price. That's he was huge. Oh, sorry.
And then the DeAndre Swift at 80. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. Ibuka, you got cheap Ibuka.
Mm-hmm.
128 Drake May.
Okay.
So yeah, May Stafford.
Pre-Stafford news though, so he's still up there.
All right, so
week 16.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's why you put up 200 point. You know, that helps explain it. Saquon, Allen. Anything you want to do here, Kyron?
These are both different. I was looking for maybe not May because you guys keep doing that. Maybe let's do a Barkley team.
Okay. Well, I have some news about round 2.
he's coming.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Well, okay, Brown maybe this time. Yeah.
Maybe we'll take AJ Brown. But Alan Brown is nice there. Alan Adams. We'll see what this guy does. Alan Kyron.
But yeah, I didn't even realize I wasn't tracking my little Dalmatian very, very closely. So I was in 3 home league finals, and I was going up against Derrick Henry in all 3 of them. So like I wasn't, tracking my underdog, and he just murdered me that first game. And I was like, well, there goes my hopes of the home league champion.
Meanwhile,
he makes me 20K, so I don't know if I like him or hate him, but.
I really like having the home league sweats to anti-sweat against your best ball teams. Yes. In both my home league finals, I was against Puka in them, and I desperately wanted Puka points in the final to ladder up in the sprint and a couple other ones, or all my super flex had Puka, and so it did not work out there. But I won both the home league championships, so there's a trade-off.
Nice. All right, so we got Barkley Brown, which is pretty fun start, and like we were saying earlier, not like uncommon, but what I think is interesting about these starts is you can do a ton of different things to close it out. So not like you're gonna be holding hands with everyone necessarily, because the Eagles are also, they don't always score that many points, so it's possible a lot of these teams get eliminated in the first or second round if they kind of do one of those classic gross Eagles games where neither team does anything. Yeah, so I mean, I think if Hurts gets back here, it's pretty obviously the pick. And we're looking at Allen Adams. He might go Stafford. Occasionally, I've taken Smith there and just played for him not to take Hurts, but obviously it's a little risky. Diggs is also pretty nice for us if he's here. Sack, how do you play that there if you got Hurts?
Usually I have, so like we were saying, it's not an uncommon thing to be able to get all the Eagles. So I'll usually just take Hurts and if someone takes Devonta from me, I'm like, cool, this is the outcome in the playoffs where Devonta doesn't do anything, and I'm going to get something different here instead, like this one. And so now it's Steph Diggs is the guy that you needed, and so I really, that question of how do you differentiate, that's how you do it. Like I don't want to punt the highest EV piece for this team of Jalen Hurts, like the Barkley Brown Hurts. Like I don't want to risk because this guy took Stafford. I mean, yeah, he had Adams there, so it makes sense to do it. But you never know with people in playoff best ball. They may just
you never know, man. Yeah. No, it's true that the highest EV thing is to get both of them, and you're increasing the probability of pulling that off by taking Devontae first, probably. But also, it's always tough to predict other people's behavior in these rooms. So,
if I was only going to draft like a couple teams, you know, and it was really important to me to like have a chance at maximize my chance at the super nuts, you know, then I'd probably push Devonta Smith there or push Hurts there and try to get greedy. But since I'm drafting such a large portfolio of it, it's like, let me just do the thing that I think if I did this a million times, it's going to give me the best portfolio overall.
Spalt, where are you at on the Packers versus the Bears versus doing something else? Well, there goes
I
Swift.
kind of like the Bears, but I know Josh Jacobs is always at the top. So,
but we don't have to take. We don't
I
have
was
to
still
do
looking
that.
for Swift, but
Yeah, Swift would have been nice. Of course, the one time he didn't get back, we actually had someone who wanted the Bears. Which, yeah, I try to mix it up. If I see Jacobs and Swift both near the top these days, I'm taking some Swift because I do have a lot of Jacobs. So, and then that gets you into the Packers. We could go Goddard and we could go Ramondre as well and play into the. Any thoughts on what to do here?
I'd say Jacobs, and I think Goddard might make it back around.
Okay. Jacobs it is. Jacobs, I need like guest sign off at this point. How come you're not making more 1 seed versus 1 seed? Sack, that's a good question.
One out of 6, baby. It's a quick way to light a bunch of money on fire. We'll have 1 seed versus 1 seed sometimes, and the way that I preferred to do that is number 1 in the 2 of 6 contests, and number 2 when the bracket was less certain, because my 1 seed versus 1 seed teams are crazy. You won't be able to draft them now. I have, you know, CMC in the 4th round, Kittle in the 5th round, Brock Purdy in the 6th round, and then, you know, that's with all the other Broncos pieces that I've got. And then it's Patriots as an advanced rate piece that we're going like at the end of drafts really early. So
Goddard here?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he's a smash here.
Yeah,
he's been ruled out for this week though.
As a risky pick.
But yeah, the double 1 seed stuff, I think that is, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but that's part of the draft in all the windows. You know, spread your drafts out across the windows. You'll naturally get that 1 seed versus 1 seed stuff. But trying to force it, especially right now with the prices where 49ers haven't really come down. In fact, they've gotten more expensive. And Broncos haven't really come down in cost. It just gets to be pretty difficult to get something that I think is, number 1, stronger than the versions that were drafted earlier, and number 2, has a good enough chance to advance for it to be worth you trying to advance it, if that makes sense. It's like I'm happy to, I don't have to have the perfect version of the nuts for every Super Bowl that I'm drafting, but I want it to be good. It's got to be good enough to have a chance to win. And then it's also got to be winning at a high enough frequency when I get it there to make it worth the risk of me trying to get it there in the first place. And so that's kind of the trade-off. That's literally like the whole point of Sims, you know, is we can model a really complicated probability problem that you wouldn't really be able to do otherwise.
For me, it's more that the teams earlier in the season for this were drafting against literal zeros who aren't going to make the playoffs. And so they're going to be much better teams that can get out of their pods than you can get out of these, just because of construction and the difficulty they have. So like you are swimming way, way, way uphill with the double 1 seeds right now compared to the other teams that are going to exist later in the contest or
because
later in the rounds.
If people, you know, watching aren't familiar with what these rooms look like before, people were hammering Colts, Lions, Cowboys. Like multiple teams in the rooms were like stacking zeros. So there's stuff. There's double 1C teams that are like in 1 out of 3 pods to get out. So I mean, it's like really, it's a big difference, the level of competition to get out of the score that you're going to need to get out of this pod that we're drafting now versus something that was drafted earlier. Ramondre coming back is pretty nice. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Woody Marks here also gives us another Super Bowl with the Texans that we can tack on to. I think I prefer Ramondre given that we have Diggs.
Yeah, now we're getting that. Hey, here's a bunch of AFC one-offs. You've got really strong Eagles stuff. Let's give you good pieces for when the Eagles make the Super Bowl.
Honestly, nice to see the Packers used as purely advance rate as opposed to immediately stealing the Packers Super Bowl. That's honestly a breath of fresh air. Spalt, are you good with Woody Marks and betting on the Texans to make a bit of a run?
Sounds good.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, I like the Eagles stuff is really fun. So we only have we have 4. Yeah, we have 4 because we did get Goddard. So you can just tack on, like we now have. So yeah, this is why I love this. I love this stuff.
Good job, Sims.
We get the Broncos Super Bowl with 1. We get the Jags Super Bowl with 1. We can add on the Texans.
These are all pieces that can outscore Devonta, who we missed on, right? And so it's just saying like, okay, yep, you're there, and some of these stacks made it, but here are the ways that you can pip them. Each of those outcomes.
Yeah. And we're not getting this in a hypothetical world where we drafted Jahan Dotson and Tank Bigsby instead of Barkley and Brown, right? Like that's then the way. The nice thing about with the Sims is like it's evaluating that these are Super Bowls where we actually make money because we have Barkley, Hurts, and Brown, and Goddard, and the piece we're missing is Smith. So Franklin, Thomas, and Schultz are all totally live to outscore him. And plus we have Marks too, so we'd have 2 outs there.
Yeah, we have a lot of firepower on this team. This one shouldn't have any problem putting up points. So the Troy Franklin hack that Shady mentioned earlier of storing your Troy Franklin nuggets for the winter, definitely nice.
How many Troy Franklins do you bury and forget each winter? Is that really matters?
Well, we're about to find out. We're about to find out. Bo Nix jumping up here. That's interesting. A little secondary. We talked about the Eagles maybe flopping in one of these rounds. Wouldn't be the worst thing to have him. Final pick here. What do you want? Bo Nix, Dalton Schultz, Jordan Love, Zay Flowers, Pat Bryant. Anything jump out to you?
Defer to our honored guest.
I'd say Schultz, just a little light on receiver, maybe.
Sounds
2
good.
Eagles at 3.
Yeah, good point. All right. We got the Eagles triple. Got Goddard later. Getting to Patriots. Have a Josh Jacobs advance piece. Getting to Texans a little bit. Getting to Broncos. So we have 3 different Super Bowls covered with Eagles. Pretty fun team. Any thoughts?
Looks good. Just depends on the Eagles showing up. You never know. So
You truly do never know. The Eagles, it's funny that the sentiment on the Eagles is much stronger than it was a couple weeks ago. They were kind of in that Packers spot where people were like, why? Please stop giving me Eagles. But, the thing that's funny about playing best ball is I think one of the edges is just drafting the team that makes you feel gross. Because that team's going to change over time. And sometimes you'll draft a gross team, but a gross NFL team. But a lot of times the sentiment on these teams shifts pretty wildly over the final month of the year. All right. Any thing you want to shout out here before we bring on our next guest?
No, thanks for having me, guys. Keep up what you're doing. Appreciate your entertainment all season long. So appreciate all you guys do for us. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for your
appreciate
time.
you, man.
Thanks for joining
Congrats.
us.
Yep. Take care.
Shady was quiet for about 20 minutes and got fired up about Troy Franklin. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't watched the Eagles play in 5 days. Classic Artillery Frost zinger from Artillery Frost.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm happy the Niners are gonna maybe get a shot at the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Although the last time they played this game, it was a heart attack. That was the 2019 final game of the season. I thought we were gonna get that again, but powers that be decided they wanted to see Ravens Steelers.
Yeah.
Which
I was over.
yeah.
I just did the Roto World show, and you know that one's on NBC, so they did a little promo. They got a graphic that came up on the YouTube stream, and Rodgers. I don't think they could have picked a picture of Rodgers that would have made him look any older. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, it's I mean,
Yeah.
that game is gonna be a close one, but I don't know if it'll be a fun one.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check out your team. So, for people who don't know, you are the inventor of the term chaperone, which took the best ball streets by storm this summer. So I'm glad you got paid off on a very strong year. And did you have a chaperone? I think maybe David Montgomery would count.
Monty kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a guy I had on here that Michael Wilson. That was the chaperone.
Michael
Except
Wilson.
He ended up spiking late in the season.
He's a little too good, but
yeah,
he was drafted as a chaperone.
Yeah. Shahid was kind of supposed to be a chaperone.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked Jordan Whittington. Apparently, you can see that this is a 100-team final, so the percentages correlate very nicely with total ownership. Yeah. I mean, it has Trey McBride. He really put the team on his back. This contest was the Flock, one of the Flock community contests.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Which had a very unique structure, like all over the place. It was only one of 12 to advance. So this was the first place team in its pod. I went and looked. It advanced by about 10 points and outscored the second place team by about 30 in week 14.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
It flipped in week 14. But then the structure keeps staying strange. It was one of two. It was head to head eliminator style advancement in week 15 and 16. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which
Okay.
it didn't actually come close to getting eliminated there. I think it was. I have the screenshots up on my. It advanced 160 to 136 in one of the weeks, and it advanced 156 to 103 in the other week. So, yeah, it just kind of. I mean, the head-to-head, it's the ultimate pod luck. Well, Eliminator is the ultimate pod luck contest, but this is the second ultimate pod luck contest. Notable thing, there is no Derrick Henry on this team on Underdog, which on DK, that was very strange to me that Derrick Henry didn't end up being, I think the top 10 teams on DK, none of them had Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But on Underdog, I mean, he shipped Sam Sherman at him. I think the second place Underdog team, Borat, did not have Derrick Henry.
He had Bijan.
Yeah, because the dynamic that ended up happening was basically you had Bijan McBride teams versus Derrick Henry teams, I think. But yeah, this team won the won that contest by 15 points or something.
Nice.
Oh, these pods, this finals had an interesting dynamic in that because it was head-to-head all the way and 1 of 12, the ownership didn't condense around Puka the way it did in BBM.
Oh, interesting.
So I think, like you can see, Bijan is 18%. There's like, that's 20% of the tournament. And that's kind of like, I think JT might have been like the most owned guy.
Right, because he got everyone through the 1 of 12.
He got everybody through the 1 of 12. Yeah.
Yeah. That is really interesting.
So yeah. I mean, yeah, just barely cleared the 10K threshold to make it on here. But yeah, I mean, this was actually saved my season. I did a lot of small stakes volume and advanced a decent amount, but I had the most Quinshon Judkins of anybody. Going into week 15.
Yeah.
I was super excited for that. And then it did not. And then Judkins did not have a good one.
Still a badge of honor to have that much Judkins.
Seriously.
Yeah. Oh, I also I labeled some of my teams like after the week 14 stuff was done, and I had labeled this team Trash Solo Caleb. Because I mean, it's the bad teams that ship, right? Yeah. You can see there's Michael Penix and Kyler Murray here. But one of the other guys that was on, like, I probably don't get to Michael Wilson without Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler, yeah.
Which, like, I'm not sure how actionable that is. I wouldn't have drafted Kyler Murray, right? If I thought he was going to be bad. But
Of course. But, you know, it is nice to get to Michael Wilson, who is probably your true chaperone on this team.
Yeah, definitely.
Chaperone theory coming in strong. And, you know, nothing says the chaperone's not allowed to be the hero of the field trip. Sometimes the school bus crashes on the side of the road, and it's the chaperone that pulls all the kids from the burning bus. And that's what Michael Wilson.
Well, one of those kids was Luther Burden.
Yes.
Hey, don't forget the original Slappy Noel. That's also
your
on this
lineup
team.
too. Oh
Yes. George Pickens. There's the chaperone.
That's
Didn't even make the lineup. Although I thought George Pickens was going to be one of the guys down the stretch. And
George Pickens was the chaperone that actually he drank a little bit during the at the end. You had to rely on the more responsible Michael Wilson chaperone to save him.
Yeah. But the chaperone term is designed, like, it's not just to draft an old or, you know, kind of a veteran with routes. It's so specifically you can get Jalen Noel and Luther Burden to hit your lineup in week 17 when you wouldn't have been live without the chaperone. So you really did. I mean, it's not just that you have Michael Wilson; it's that you did get those rookies hitting your lineup in a week 17 pink. So well done to you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, obviously, happy with this team overall. But yeah.
Yeah. Should we jump in a gauntlet?
Sure, I'm down.
All right.
Okay, so I have a question on like a toy game thing related to playoff best ball. If you had a hypothetical, which is kind of vaguely applicable this year, where all of the teams had the exact same strength. Say we had, like, I don't know, all 14 teams.
So far, this isn't a hypothetical.
Are you saying that's what the year is?
Yeah. So this is about as flat as it's going to get.
Sure. Is a bye team better because it has Super Bowl equity, or worse because it doesn't score in week 1? And I mean, I guess does the answer change going from 1 of 6 to 2 of 6?
It definitely changes based on the advancement structure. I mean, it depends on when they're going in the room also, right? Like, it's a cost adjusted thing that you have to figure out. So it's like if you can get good round 1 projections easily in the ADP landscape, then it doesn't matter as much that they aren't scoring in round 1. But if when it's flat, you're more likely to have all of the good players going early from the round 1 teams because they are both likely to get to the Super Bowl and score points in round 1. So the ADP changes when that flatness happens.
Yeah. So the team that I'm specifically the team that I like drafting more than why is all of our slots are back of the board?
Yeah.
The team I specifically like drafting more than what I think the Sidekick recommends is the Broncos, just because. I mean, I don't trust anybody in the AFC, but like I feel like the entire AFC kind of projects the same, outside of maybe like the Bills. I think Josh Allen and James Cook project better, but I also think the Bills probably suck.
Which is not great for
yeah. But like I like drafting the Bills to advance my Broncos because I think the Bills suck.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm also Niners super fan. Drafting CMC 101, but that has some weird dynamics too.
Yeah, because they might be the buy.
Yeah. Well, no, the weird dynamics are okay.
We have Allen.
We have Allen.
Allen Kyron, Allen Adams, Allen AJ Brown.
I'm down to take Allen Adams and try to turn this into a Broncos team.
Okay, let's do it. You like Allen Adams or Allen Kyron?
No, let's do Allen Kyron. That's better actually, because we can. That's a lot better. What was I gonna say? So yeah, this is not relevant to this side of the board, but the 101 and 102 dynamics are really annoying to me because like I feel like if you once you've made a decision on whether to play the Rams or the Niners, like I had a guy that out of the 101 took CMC, which I preferred CMC, so like I went darn it. But then around comes Kyron, Stafford, and Devontae Adams all came back.
Wow.
After I take Puka out of the 102, so I take Kyron. And the guy that took CMC double-tapped Stafford Devontae. With Kittle and, like, Nico and...
Yeah.
Come on, man! Like, either give me the Rams super or give me the Niners. What are you doing, man? And like
Shady, was that you? You have a look right now.
No, it was a guy with a badge that I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
I was ready for you to rattle off the screen name, just like committed to memory.
Burned in.
I could probably find it quickly. Yeah, it's also that like so there's those maniacs that take CMC and then also take Rams, which like just take Puka if you're gonna take Rams on the wrap anyways. To me at least. And then there's people keep taking Puka and then taking Kittle. And I don't think that's particularly good either on Underdog. Cuz I think Kittle's value is that he's a tight end and like that doesn't matter on Underdog, but I don't know. Like I don't think he has that much of a better projection. Anyways.
Zach, what do you think about that? Oh, Harvey just went.
That's annoying. Well,
Shakir's nice here.
Yeah.
Going to Eagles.
Oh, there's Kittle, but I don't like taking Kittle. And the Sidekick obviously agrees. Yeah, I'm down. So let's take Shakir and then see if the Sidekick wants to force Josh Jacobs down our throat. Anyways.
Nah, it's not really that into the Packers. Oh,
what? So what's up with the Devonta Smith suggestion? Is that just an advance rate piece? I guess.
Well, it's potential Eagles with the. Although you don't have Barkley.
Yeah, you don't have Barkley. You don't have Cook.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason Jacobs is always here. Yeah, let's just take Jacobs.
I think we've taken Jacobs on every one of these.
True to brand.
So this is like a prime spot where I would have loved to have double tapped.
This guy in the 5-hole heard you, man.
Yeah,
he's almost certainly watching the stream.
Yeah,
he did some interesting stuff. What the Nico at 8 is ahead of like. That's another one I don't completely understand. Like, is the Nico love just that like?
Happy New Year, Bindles.
he's a GAM and consolidates the entire like Texans offense? Like, why is he going so high? Or do we think the Texans have a high Super Bowl?
We think, yeah, the Texans have decent Super Bowl equity, and yeah, he's kind of the clear wide receiver one there.
I guess something I'm missing about the Broncos is it's like also that the individual pieces probably don't project as well as I think. Like Harvey is going to get cannibalized by Dobbins when he comes back, and Troy Franklin might be the wide receiver one.
Yeah, it'll be
By
fun.
the way, Gam is grown ass man for people asking him in chat.
Yeah. My bad.
Why is the Sidekick so into Packers? Let's just take Jacobs. That's happened, I think, in every single.
Jacobs. I mean, there is some risk of Emmanuel Wilson.
There is some risk of that, yeah.
Cannibalizing his role, but like I don't actually think there is, and so like.
This is interesting here, where you get. Go ahead. Sorry.
He's got just like maybe the best volume role in football.
Right.
Like Matt LaFleur loves to run the ball down. There's this like awkward thing with this Shanahan LaFleur generation, where they're young but they grew up under Mike Shanahan, so like
right.
They're all boomers at heart.
Gary Kubiak, they're boomers at heart. Yeah.
Which like.
And they're getting old now.
Yeah.
So, So we could do Swift Watson.
You're talking about the Bears thing.
Yeah.
So
also
we
Kincaid.
I
we have
wonder if
6
it'll
more
go to
slots.
Kincaid after Watson. Yeah, 6 more.
Let's draft Watson, I guess. I'm like, the DeAndre Swift, I'm like not clear that he's the RB1 on this team.
Fair. Yeah, once
Kincaid.
Kincaid.
So okay, it does want Kincaid, but okay. Okay, let's take. I don't believe in Kincaid. I don't think he's the tight end one on the Bills. That's my issue. I think Dawson Knox. Yeah, I want to take Swift. I think Dawson Knox might like just outscore him straight up.
We did make some changes to the Bills tight end ranges of outcomes the last time that we were in there. Dawson Knox did get a little bit of a bump.
He did get a boost. He did. The thing I like about Swift is that we have Bills Super Bowl stuff, but we don't have a Bills running back, so we get another out through the Bears.
There is an issue with drafting the Bears and Packers in that they're probably going to play in the first round, which I think that's priced into the Sidekick.
Right?
Like
it is.
The odds, the seeding odds are.
Yeah. It is. It's not a guarantee though.
Yeah.
And then on certain builds, it's like more into.
Oh, the Bears play the Lions, right? That's who they play.
Yeah,
Bears play the Lions this week.
The Lions aren't going to lay down because whatever. This is not a.
If they lose, then it would be.
The Bears own
Eagles.
The Bears own the head-to-head over the Eagles, and the Eagles are resting their starters.
Right.
But are the Eagles playing somebody? They're playing the.
They're playing the Commanders.
Yeah, they were still favored the last time I saw.
They're still favored, and they have Tanner McKee, who actually played pretty well last week.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't know what the hell to make of that. Hey,
the thing that I've noticed is there are some times where the Sidekick is into Bears Packers, and my guess is that I'm getting a subset where the majority of those seedings. Are not Bears Packers playing. And then there's other times where it's less into it.
I guess it's like a 60-40 thing right now. Did Kincaid come back?
He did.
Well, I guess the room heard me. Let's take Kincaid.
This is the
pro streamer move to FUD Kincaid to get him to come all the way back around.
I wouldn't even take him over Knox. Oh, let's take him.
Yeah, let's
Burden?
take the man of the hour, Luther Burden. Yeah,
Burden.
I was into Burden. I like to think that I was into Burden before the Sidekick was into Burden. Partly as I was overfitting the whole rookie wide receiver narrative, and I'd been looking at like who's the rookie wide receiver that's going to.
Hey, we're 6 for 6 here, so
Yeah,
there's something.
But like I was in my head, Luther Burden was the man. Like
They both.
I look at stuff like this way too far out because even though I understand how stupid it is,
I was in there putting in all the ranges, all the inputs.
Yeah, I guess you have your sim box you can stick it into.
Well, I did, and then it would say, "Yeah, not Luther Burden yet," and I was like, "Yeah, right."
yeah. Burden.
I think we had to convince Pat to cool off on Burden many times over the summer.
Yeah.
We were talking about.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know if you understand the meaning of the word convince because I never cooled off.
Pat, you cannot cool Pat off of a take. I think Burden was my highest owned player in.
Yeah, he was mine too.
No, he was
past Tootin.
No, okay, no. Tootin was my highest owned. Burden was my third highest wide receiver by a narrow margin. It was Besh, Jennings, Burden. Because, part of it was being a Niners super fan. I drafted a lot of Bears opposite Niners.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, that worked pretty well.
Man. Yeah. Well, I was like, yeah. Well, the thing was, I ended up with I think maybe my team had Jennings in that finals, but I had to root for. Well, okay. Oh God, I hate this Josh Palmer thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could take Knox or something like that.
I'm kind of into the Brandon Cooks thesis.
Okay.
It's so bad, but
I mean, if you like Palmer's the top, right, and Cooks and you prefer Cooks, it's a pretty obvious.
I mean, I don't know. Josh Palmer seems like he sucks.
As opposed to Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. Okay, we need to make a decision. I want to argue this Brandon Cooks thing.
Okay.
How many Bears do we have? We have Burden.
We have Burden and Swift.
So it's 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
Okay.
I'm part of the Caleb Williams apologist.
You've apologized to Caleb.
Have you apologized or are you demanding an apology? Where do you fall on the spectrum?
Let's see where my exposures were. I was at 8.5%.
I don't think you can demand an apology. Okay. I don't know that you have to apologize though.
Let's see where I was in BBM. This is a very stupid thing.
No, it's not. It's great.
It's can be great and stupid.
That's true.
Why is this so hard to find? Caleb. 8%. Okay. Well, that doesn't help. Okay.
Well, Davis probably has 7.5 and it's been demanding apologies.
Yeah.
Year, so maybe you can demand an apology for all I know.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams has, I think, a better rushing profile than Jordan Love, and I don't know. I don't know.
When he holds the ball for 6 seconds, he avoids the inevitable sack.
He'd make me so happy if he decided to actually run one of these times. When he's nothing but green grass in front of him, he's like, what if I got to the sideline and tried to just thread something in there?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I could run for first down.
So this Brandon Cooks thing, he did just have that 100-yard game.
Yeah.
And isn't he hasn't he had a 1,000-yard season with 7 different franchises? And I mean, I know he's old, but Palmer feels like he's just as old. But Palmer's
Cooks is only 32. If you made me guess how old Palmer or Cooks is, I would have been he's 35 years old.
That was the number I had in my head.
Yeah. Palmer, by the way, is 26.
Yes, I know. I know Palmer's 26. That, he sucks. He sucks.
I hope that one of Cooks or Palmer is the guy that you need in the playoffs, just because it would be really fun.
There's 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, because it was before they drafted McConkey, and it was when Quentin Johnston was supposed to break out. It was Quentin Johnston's rookie year. I remember, I think it was the Fantasy Footballers, because I wasn't into best ball yet. One of them was going on, and he was like, "Oh, I got Josh Palmer stashed on my bench because Keenan Allen had gone down." They started the year with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Mike Williams tore his ACL. Keenan Allen eventually got injured. Yeah. Quentin Johnston is Quentin Johnston,
Palmer
And-
had this brief run where he was in the Keenan Allen role, and he was kind of working for a fantasy anyway.
But then they were drafting number 5 overall. So, and they fired. Oh, they got blown out 63 to by 60 points against the Raiders. And
man,
I can't even remember.
I vaguely remember this.
The head coach that sucks. It was Zamir White. Remember that psyop? Zamir White ran all over them.
Yeah.
I think there was like multiple. It was Easton Stick, which is
Is this Antonio Pierce when he was?
It was Antonio Pierce. He was interim at the time
for McDaniels.
So yeah, they fired McDaniels. So the Raiders had fired McDaniels, and then they went and blew out the Chargers.
Right.
A billion points.
Just remember this team who hires Josh McDaniels in 3 years. Just keep this in your back of your mind.
I hope Josh McDaniels never gets hired away from the Patriots, both for Drake May's sake and for the sake of, I don't know,
whatever team he does it to again.
The team that drafts Chambliss 3 years from now when he eventually decides to go pro.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. McDaniels is in the perfect role for him and everyone else.
Yeah, no, we've got all these designated defensive coordinators. We need designated offensive coordinators that will never be.
And Matt Nagy should also be one of them. And
wait, you want Matt Nagy to be a head coach, to be a designated offensive coordinator?
I just don't want him to. Listen, I'm not the biggest.
I want Matt Nagy fired. And into the sun.
I just don't want him to go. Like, Cam Ward's had a rough go of it. I'm not the biggest, believer, but
boy,
I can't believe that they're floating Matt Nagy as the head coach there.
You know what's going to happen, right? Matt Nagy is going to get hired, and then Cam Ward's going to be declared a bust. He's going to go to the Vikings, rehabilitate his career, and it turns out, wow, he wasn't a bust.
I actually like this narrative.
But he's got to be declared a bust.
What year is this? Is this 2032?
Yeah, you think the Vikings are going to figure out at quarterback?
They let him walk.
They hire Matt Nagy. Ward sucks next year. Ward gets benched 2 years from now. Matt Nagy gets fired. Ward gets traded for a bag of chips to the Vikings. Somehow Kevin O'Connell's still there without figuring out quarterback.
Right. That's
the big if.
Yeah.
Maybe Brian Flores is the head coach and Kevin O'Connell's the offensive coordinator.
That would be interesting. No team's ever pulled that off. That would be
fun to see. The Saints. Kellen Moore was the OC under Dennis Allen at one point, I think. Or
was he?
No. Kellen Moore was the Chargers guy is on that staff, I think.
Yeah. Staley's. But that's what it is. Yeah, Staley's on the. Yeah.
So, but I don't think it's happened on the same team. It might have happened with the Broncos actually. Or no. The Broncos current. I don't know. I think the Broncos' current DC was their head coach at one point, but not under Peyton. Obviously.
Right. Mac Nova shouting out all the winners. Yeah. Shout out to Mac Nova.
Mac Nova, the
$1 million.
Third biggest winner of them all.
That's right.
But it was rigged, I hear.
The rigging is funny when it's like, we're gonna give him Kyle Pitts. We're gonna make sure he gets Kyle Pitts. It's like, really? That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the man was pushing ESPN's metric earlier.
QBR? Which
whatever their playoff odds metric. I think Sack was having a conversation with him about that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anyways. Anything you want to shout out? Are you going to be attending any like local, high school dances as a chaperone, or anything else going on?
Jesus Christ, no. No.
Doing any chaperoning? Okay.
No. I can barely take care of myself. Shout out Slappy Central Discord. Davis Maddox the man. Listen to Davis Maddox, baby. Arf. I mean, the Sidekick is great. I didn't draft much with it the year before last because I didn't do much volume, but I wanted to up my volume this year, and so picked up the Sidekick sub, slammed a billion slows.
It'll help you do
I
that.
think I picked it up right before the NFL draft when the Little Board 2 came out because
nice.
They dropped that like 3 days before the draft, and I had to max that, of course. That was a crazy contest. There was people that literally advanced 50 out of 50 in that contest because there was like 40% of the contest was wild cards.
That was funny.
Yeah. I think I drafted advanced 35 out of 50. Yeah.
Nice. The we had a metaphor, I think, during the Sam Sherman live stream that the slappiest among us is the guy not just in the trenches with us, but actually digging deeper inside the trench. And apparently that may be you, Artillery Frost, continuing to make the trench deeper while we're in it.
No bigger honor. The slappiest of them all.
And we've got Purple Yosh, another thinker. Shout out to him.
I mean, Purple Yosh, the not eliminated.
The not eliminated.
The eliminator.
The uneliminated. The eliminator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Purple Yosh, that sweat was awesome because I think he didn't like. I remember him saying before week 17 that one of the teams was unbeatable and it wasn't his. And hey, I mean, this is a Trey Lance jersey, by the way, but Brock Purdy is awesome. The Trey Lance jersey was cheap. I got it right after they traded the Cowboys.
Now, why was it cheap? Real life.
Why is that?
Oh man. All right, let's get out of here. But thanks everybody for jumping on. Thanks, Artillery Frost. This has been a blast.
No problem. Have a great.
Congrats on an awesome season. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you follow up Chaperone with. I mean, that's a lot of pressure to come up with the word of the 2026 best ball summer, but I believe
had
in you.
something for the opposite of a chaperone. But
maybe it's the burning bus. Maybe that's where we're headed next. Rescuing from a burning bus.
I think it's the bus driver, right? The chaperone, make sure it's okay. But once everybody's back on the bus, the chaperone can take a nap, and the bus driver is taking kid.
The bus drivers are just the first round picks. The Jamar Chases of the world.
Yeah, fair. They're on the way there and back.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll be back pretty soon. I mean, we're gonna be doing a bunch more streaming, and check out Ship Chasing because we're gonna have a ton of content around the FFPC playoff contest next week. Diving into that super fun contest. I do ownership projections for that contest, which will be up on LegUp or in the Ship Chasing Discord. You can get access either way to those. Check out the Sidekick, legendaryupside.com/sidekick. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, the yearly subscription covers playoff best ball, pre-draft, pre-NFL draft best ball, the summer best ball stuff. It's a calendar year subscription, so you get all of that. You'll get all the way too early and a big chunk of the gauntlet next year if you sign up now. For the yearly, we also have a monthly sub option as well. legendaryupside.com/sidekick, and we'll see you back here soon. Thanks again for watching. Good luck and congrats to all the successful best ball seasons out there.